Okay, so I have your question here.
Yes.
Are you seeing like my phantom or no?
Your Fathom? No, we can't see your
No.
Fathom. No,
Perfect.
no. The webinar is being recorded anyway, so yeah.
Okay, no, it's just I didn't
Yeah.
want because there is like this other thing below you. I don't
Mm-hmm.
really use Zoom myself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Yep.
what do you do yourself in Recruit CRM?
Yeah, I work as a content manager at Recruit CRM and have been helping set up all of these events for the past 1.5 year. Yeah, it's been fun.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, Sean is
Guys, hello, Sean.
Matt, how are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm good. Always good to see you. It's been we talked very recently. We talked a month
Yeah, it's
ago.
been a couple of months. I guess we decided when we wanted you to convince us to stay with you.
Of course,
You
of course.
did. You did.
I hope I did an okay job.
You did. I don't know about your job, but the result has been good.
The results have been good. Good. Then we will talk about the results today. Uh
all right. Yeah, should I get started, Sean? I'll just get started with like the introduction.
please.
All right, so we already have quite a few attendees. I'll quickly just share my screen, and I think we're also live on LinkedIn and YouTube now.
Awesome. Hello, people.
All right, hello everyone. I'll just make this full screen. All right, so yeah, good day everyone, and welcome to our webinar, How to Build a High-Performance Recruitment Agency in 2025. I'm Chavi, Content Manager at Recruit CRM, and I will be your host and moderator for today's session. It's so cool to see that we already have like over 30 attendees sitting with us. So if you could, drop a quick hi in the chat, introduce yourselves, let us know where you're joining us from. That would be very helpful. You can engage with each other and, talk to each other as well. Whether you're joining on Zoom, YouTube, wherever you are. All right. All right, so before we get started, can everybody drop a quick thumbs up in the chat if they can hear me, Sean, and Matthew clearly, if they can see us clearly? That would be very helpful before we proceed with the entire session.
All right, we have folks from Texas and South Africa. Hello.
Yeah, we have folks from all over the world. All right, cool. Looks like people can see and hear us clearly as well. All right.
Perfect.
Cool. I'd like to let everybody know that towards the end of the webinar, we will have a Q&A round, which is going to be a live Q&A session where we will take questions from all of you. So feel free to drop in your questions using the Q&A options on your screen at any point throughout the webinar. And if you're joining on LinkedIn or YouTube, you can drop your questions in the comment section or chat. We also have some exciting giveaways planned for all of you. So stick till the very end to find out what they are and also a chance to win. Cool, let's get started. I'll just move on to the next slide. All right. A quick introduction about us. Recruit CRM is a next generation ATS plus CRM software. We're serving over 1,500 customers in 100 plus countries with a global team of over 200 experts. Our software helps speed up business development, simplify recruitment processes, and boost daily productivity. It's all tailored to ensure growth for your company. All right. Now let's meet our speakers for the day. First, we have Matthew Godry. Matthew is a recruitment expert who founded Talent R in 2020 with a human-centered approach. With over 10 years of experience building tech teams in Spain, he connects companies with digital talent that matches both the necessary skills and the company's core values.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Matthew. Next, we have Sean, the founder and CEO of Recruit CRM. Sean has built a cutting-edge ATS plus CRM software. He's helping recruiters scale their revenue and teams across 100 plus countries globally. In the past 7 years, he has grown Recruit CRM to be the highest rated recruitment software across all major review boards. So yeah, welcome both of you. It's so exciting to have you guys here. And that's pretty much it from me. I won't take up any more of your time. And yeah, over to you guys.
All right, guys. So we're gonna spend a lot of today basically going into Matt's brain and learning about how he has built a super successful recruitment business over the last 5 years and like lessons from that journey. And then we'll also be talking about how you can implement technology in parts of your business to keep having the cutting edge going forward. And we'll give you a few examples from Recruit CRM since we run Recruit CRM. We have our logo and branding everywhere, and we also that's one way for us to quickly show you how things are done. Now I'll be sharing my screen, guys, and I will basically show you the slide deck. So can everyone see my screen? Matt, you can see it. Chavi, yep, perfecto.
Yep, we can see it. Yeah.
Guys, so just for context, the target audience for this webinar are people that are currently running growing recruitment businesses, or maybe just starting new recruitment businesses, or even folks that have maybe built successful businesses, but maybe have struggled a little bit over the last couple of years as the markets have turned. So we're going to answer some key questions, or we're gonna actually have Matt answer some key questions about how he has done or he has run his business. Matt is like, shit, they're going to ask me all of my secrets. But Matt, please share as much as you can because it'll help people understand what you've done right, because you've obviously done many things right. Because if I'm not wrong, you guys are almost 20 people now. You've built the company in just 5 years. Matt, are you recruiting across Europe or just in Spain at the moment?
I'm operating mostly in Spain and France. We've been recruiting also in Portugal, in Belgium, in some country in Africa too, and for some executive roles, some positions are full remote. So, but mainly I would say 80 or 90 plus of what we do are position based in France or in Spain.
France or Spain, perfecto. So first question, Matt. Now, obviously, you probably started with just you and your co-founder, and it was just people. And it is very different running a firm that's just two people versus a firm where you have employees and they need to get paid a salary. So how did you think about controlling costs while you expand operations? Because most recruitment businesses get killed here. They overhire, they end up burning a lot of money, and then they have to fire everybody, and it's very different.
The first thing is when to scale. It's when to scale and how to scale. It is true that to do that, you need to know what is your strategy and what is your business model. No? When we talk about recruitment, there is much way to do it. No, you can do it with RPOs, with success fees. You can do it with several model. No, you can be 360, or you can have people managing operation, people managing recruitment, people managing business development.
But how did you do it, right? Like, so how did
for us, we took the choice to do it success and 360. So we had like an organic growth. Okay, so before to grow, we had to have successful people able to do the business in an end-to-end,
and Matt, how much revenue, and sorry to cut you, but how much revenue were you doing when you hired your first employee?
We've been doing our first 100,000 euro when we hire our first employee.
And how many months did it take to get to 100,000?
About 10 months.
Okay, so it wasn't some magic story where you just started the business and you made 100K.
No, we were not doing this business with my partner, so we had to learn a little bit. Before we had to learn a little bit. And
what gave you the confidence, Matt? So at 10 months, when you were at 100K and you were like, okay, we're making maybe 10 or 15K or 20K a month now in revenue. What gave you the confidence to say now is the right time to hire one person?
But it was a moment also. We are talking about the end of 2020. We were during COVID, and we are a tech recruiting agency. So like it was the very beginning, the end of 2020, of certainly the better market tech and recruiting as known for a couple of years. Between the end of 2020 and the end of 2022 in Europe, it's been certainly the better market in a couple of decades.
Got it.
So we had a lot of, and that will lead, we did mistake actually, but we had so much demand. So we were not doing so much business development. We had a lot of demand. So to be honest with you, Sean, we did hire a lot at this moment, and we were not controlling that much the cost. It's something that we learn afterward, you know.
Got it.
And I believe, like to answer the question, how to control the cost in a recruiting agency, it's the same of how to control the cost in most of the company. You have to try to keep your fixed cost the lower that you can, except if you know that you will be a good return of an investment. And if you think you will have a good return on investment, you should measure it and make sure you have. And then the second thing is to work with budget. At the end of the year, you have to think, okay, what will I
You have a budget.
Yeah.
So a question on that. So when you try to control costs and you're still hiring people, does that mean you normally hire people on, like, let's say a lower base salary, but a high commission compared to the market? Or like, how do you do it?
Myself, I hire people, I believe, with quite good salary, not very high, but I hire also junior people that I train, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And then there is a lot of benefits. And regarding the bonus policy, it is a bonus policy where you need to cover your cost. And once you cover your cost, you can have a very good bonus. Okay.
And for rough numbers, would you say it's like 20% of what they bill, 30%, 40%? Is it a percentage of what they're bringing in as revenue, or is it some other formula?
As bonus, you say?
Yes, correct.
But I have a special bonus myself. I can explain it to you very quickly. But basically, my top 20%, they can have a 100% bonus.
Of their salary.
Yeah. They can double or even more. Between my top 20%, they should aim to have between 1 and 200% bonus. But it is also true that I have every quarter, because I do quarter bonus, I have about between 30 and 40% that doesn't have any bonus.
Okay, got it. So it's a performance-based range based on what they bring in. Some people make a lot.
And it's a little extreme, because if you don't cover your cost, or not just your salary, the whole cost, from my point of view, of course, you don't get any bonus. And once you cover your cost, you have a little bit, and once there is like different threshold, and the last threshold, you have a lot of bonus. That's a choice. There is a lot of company making it in a different way, but I would say control costs for me. When I saw this question, I was thinking fixed cost. When we are talking about recruiting agency, we are service provider. The only way to scale, we are talking about scaling, is with people, because it's the people that are making the business, no?
Which is fixed cost.
There is two very different things that are very different for me. That are all the fixed costs. I take, I don't know, a big office. I have to take LinkedIn lessons. I consider this cost fixed because they block you, no? But a salary or a Recruit CRM that I can modulate, I take just what I need to make my people able to work. You know what I mean?
Perfect. And going into that Recruit CRM question, right? How important has recruitment technology, whether it be Recruit CRM or LinkedIn Recruiter or any other tools that you have used, been in scaling your agency 5 years ago when it was just 2 people to 20 now? And how? Can you, with just maybe examples?
Once again, I would like to put different level. Okay, in the world of today, you need to be able to access people with your database, or other database. No, you need, like what we do, it's recruitment. So our product are people, and we need channel of acquisition of these people. So LinkedIn Recruiter, for example, or LinkedIn in general, it's a must. It's a must. How important? It's essential.
You cannot operate without it.
Well,
But what
I
about,
could not operate without it. And maybe for me, it's LinkedIn, and for another country or another
something else?
market, it will be the other lead or the other place where you can find your candidate. Okay, for me, it's
And
LinkedIn. For
and
most of the
so,
people, it's LinkedIn.
so
But
Pat, I'm
so
guessing LinkedIn you is obviously like an essential that you need, even if you're just one person and you need it to talk to people. But is there any piece of technology or systems that you use or set up that you don't really need when it's just 2 or 3 people, but you really need if it's 15 people, that you would not be able to survive without at scale, but in the starting, it doesn't matter?
for me, an ATS, I know that there is some recruiter not working with ATS and
Yeah.
CRM, but for me, it's essential, actually. You
Yeah.
know,
Okay.
alors, it's essential, but if you are alone or if you are two, there is some plugin that you
Yeah.
can use
Yeah.
that would replace the ATS. Okay, if I am not a company, for example, it is a thing. I don't know if I can tell you in this webinar. There is a thing called Amazing Hiring that I saw. There is some database that you can some plugin to LinkedIn that allow you to organize a little bit. The same LinkedIn recruiter, it has
Yeah.
its ATS inside. It's a shitty one. It's a shitty
Yeah.
one. But you can have some project, classify your people, be looking to your people. So I would say if you are alone, you don't have to have a professional ATS or ATS CRM, which is for me essential
Yeah.
for business because you can manage. If you are alone also, or two or three, maybe you don't really need maybe you don't really need a CRM. But
If you're
if
five.
you want to scale, you need a CRM, and you need a CRM at yes. You need to be classifying all your candidates, classifying all your clients, knowing your job, and so on. No, even though you need to do some reporting.
Yeah, and you need some reporting on that too. And the next question then, and this is Matt probably going into the whole team, right? What is one mistake that you believe you made in the last 4 or 5 years that you think would have been was a horrible mistake that if you hadn't made, you could probably.
I told you, I believe our big mistake have been not to be focusing on business development at some point
Okay.
because our mistake, maybe not the number one mistake. I would have other idea for in general, but our big mistake has been not to be focusing on business development and clients in general because we had the chance to begin our journey in recruitment with an amazing market.
Yeah.
So clients were needing us.
Yeah.
While I believe that in general, this market is a client market. You need to
Yep.
be
Got
focusing on your client, business development, account management, processes, and so on. For every new agency owner, what is the number one mistake? It could be this one, because we have a lot of recruiters willing to do recruitment, but I believe in agency, we are not really recruiter. We are business developer, and the service that we are salesmen, and the service we are selling is our knowledge of how to do recruitment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be honest, like the reason why recruitment agencies, the profitable ones, make so much money is because they're able to convince companies to let them hire for them. Not because they can do because you can hire a junior consultant to help you do recruitment, but you can't really hire a junior consultant to help you get new clients, right? Because
Of
one of
course.
those two is easier than the other.
And of course, we need to be very, very good recruiter and be interested in the market of recruitment. I don't know, in RecTech, in an operation of recruitment in technology or around recruitment, but for what I've seen, and it's been maybe 40 people passing through my company. The good one with my model, once again, with my model of 360, but the better consultants that I have and that I have, enfin, that I had, that I have, are the good business developers.
Okay. All right.
Because
And
even at the moment of managing a process, they have more the sense of the business.
got it. And one thing now, right? Now this is a little marketing for me in a sense, but in your honest opinion, Matt, and you don't have to be extra nice. What are a few things that maybe Recruit CRM has helped you while in scaling your business, right? What parts has it been crucial in?
You know that I like Recruit CRM and that I am critical myself. No, for me, the big thing of Recruit CRM is the way we can make the customization as we
Yeah.
want. Okay, so you did, Guy, understand what is the recruiting agency business, and for me, of course, I am absolutely not interested in an ATS not made for an agency. Okay, so
Correct.
we are your target, you understand us. So we have these four candidate, client, company, for client, contact, and job that are the four. The fourth thing I'm always thinking about. And the very good thing is we can customize it as we want. And also, I would say that an interesting thing is that you are always trying to be very up to date, to understand. You have like a very good, you are customer centric. Your people in products, they are very much focused on what the customer wants. And a lot of time, your new feature, I don't use it all, but your new feature are very useful. I'm now very much looking forward to the new design.
Yeah, and we'll be showing you some stuff today that is for the
I know,
audience.
I know, I know, I know, I know.
That hopefully you will also get deeper into. And I'll ask you questions on which ones you're using, hopefully some, so we can talk about all the tech that is possible to use, right? So now obviously every recruitment business has a different story. There's different reasons why people have started. We've seen literally thousands of recruitment businesses start on Recruit CRM, a lot of whom are successful and still with us on the platform. Some people started recruitment businesses, shut them down, went back into their professional careers. So we've seen both sides of the story, because obviously it's not an easy journey. It's not like everyone starts an agency, becomes a millionaire. It's like most people don't make it. And what we're trying to do is just increase your chances a little bit by giving you some technology. So there's different stories. Some people start agencies because, maybe they've been very successful recruiters at their previous job, and they say, okay, I can do this and I can do this for myself. There's some people that are actually clients of recruitment agencies, and they see recruitment agencies make a lot of money or take a lot of fees. So they say, maybe I can do this as well. And in the third case, we see people who maybe, the market has been bad. They were working in corporate HR or an agency, and their job, they were furloughed or lost their job in a bad market. And they say, hey, maybe I should just start my own agency, right? So there's different kinds of folks who start. There's different success rates for each of these groups of people, but we've seen big businesses come out from all of these types of stories. So we want to talk about a few things that successful agencies can do with technology and help themselves reach more people and scale. So one thing really good agencies do is they react really fast. If a candidate or a client reaches out to you, they don't have to wait for 2 days to get a response or follow up with you. They get a response from you like instantly, because like the recruiter just sees the email and he responds by the time you hit send, right? It's like a 5-10 minute process. And how we do some of this, or we help you do some of this, and hopefully Matt, the team will start using some workflow automations, which are really critical, is in Recruit CRM, we have what's called workflow automations. So you can connect to any of these apps. And there's more. These are just how many we could fit into a screen. So they could be things like GPT, Adobe Sign, DocuSign, ADP for payroll. You could have Mailchimp, Xero for accounting. There's a variety of tools you can use. And what we do is we basically help you create a visual way to understand how these tools connect to each other. So here's some automations on how we can batch process data where, let's say you're getting a lot of data even outside of Recruit CRM on your website and you're using, let's say, HubSpot marketing to collect data. How we can put it into spreadsheets. You can put it into Recruit CRM or MailChimp. You can put it into Power BI for analytics. And the same way we can set up many automations. Now, this is a very, this image is so zoomed out that I can't even read it. But basically, I will tell you what you're able to do. People on our team can sit with new agencies or established agencies and ask you, what are the things that you want to automate as a company? Now, some of those things might be every time you receive a new job, you want to publish it on your company's LinkedIn page and your personal LinkedIn profile to tell the world that you're recruiting for a new job. One automation can be that when you successfully place a candidate, you want an invoice created on QuickBooks or Xero. Another automation is when you place a candidate, you want to send the candidate a survey or a request to give you a Google review so that your SEO gets better as a company. But the idea is, how can we set up all of these different automations that are repetitive tasks that a robot can do instead of a human remembering to do them? This could even include following up with a client when you submit a candidate and they don't react on time. So Matt, I'm hoping your team has started using some of the new workflow automations. If not, we'll hook you up after this call and have your operations person start setting some automations up. Another one, now this is not relevant to all companies, but if you're doing what we call entry to mid-market recruitment, it is possible you want to advertise jobs across job boards. So Recruit CRM has partnered with a company called Wonk, which is embedded inside Recruit CRM. We give a few credits every month for free to all of our customers where they can go in, they can add their own job boards. So let's say you use a LinkedIn, or you use an Indeed, or you use a Monster, or in the US, you use ZipRecruiter. You can connect your job boards to Recruit CRM. And with a couple clicks, you can publish the job from Recruit CRM to all of those job boards. And then when someone applies to one of those jobs, we can bring the applicants back into the Recruit CRM. So it gives you a central hub to publish across job boards. So your recruiters don't need a login into each job board and also don't need to go in to find candidates and save them back. Another thing that's important is something that Matt probably knows very well around the business development side. Your clients need to feel like VIPs. They need to feel like you're taking care of them. You're not writing them the same email with with no personalization. And the way you do this is, one, you can do outreach at scale with the human touch using things like automation. So we have something called email sequencing. So what you're able to do is you're able to have the AI create a campaign for you, or you can personally create a campaign. And in the campaign, it's important that you add these yellow steps that you see. These are manual steps. So instead of a robot just sending back-to-back emails to a person, a client, or a candidate over 2 weeks, what you need to do is within your email sequence that is also personalized, that has their first name, their information, city, and stuff in it, every second touch needs to be an actual phone call or a personal LinkedIn message where the client doesn't feel like it's a robot just sending them the same mail campaign. So the system is allowing you to get to more people by helping you personalize and send automated emails. But between the emails, it's giving you tasks. So you're physically calling people and reaching out to them. So when they see your next email, they know this person actually is not a robot, it's a human because they tried to call me, and the same person from the same email ID is sending me an email as well. So you need to make it a little more real for people. Recently, we leveraged LinkedIn messaging. I know Matt. I believe you've tested this piece out. Now this can be really handy depending on how your team is set up. You're actually able to view conversations that your colleagues have exchanged with people. So you're able to go into the system, and if you look at a candidate or a client, you can quickly see if one of the 4, 5, or 8 people in your company or 20 people in your company have sent them a message in the last few weeks or months, which actually is a big win because you're able to understand if someone else on your team has already had a relationship with someone instead of you just messaging somebody that should not be messaged because they've just talked to, let's say, Matt a week ago, and you don't want to be disturbing them or ruining that relationship they have with your brand. We do a lot of call summarization too. So a lot of our customers use our calling system to make phone calls using Recruit CRM. Very recently, we also started, in addition to allowing you to just make calls, we now allow you to buy phone numbers from us for a couple dollars, which allows you to receive phone calls as well within the system. So if someone calls you back, you receive a phone call within the user interface. In all honesty, we only have numbers for the US and Canada right now, +1 numbers. We will be releasing phone numbers for Germany and the UK next month. And then in the coming 3 to 4 months, we will be releasing numbers for all of the European Union countries. So you'll be able to come and buy numbers for $2, $3, $4, depending on the country you're getting a number for, assign it to a recruiter. So you can make phone calls and receive phone calls within the CRM with everything being recorded and transcribed. So, any business activity is recorded in the platform. And if a recruiter leaves, you have all of their knowledge of conversations still logged within your database and not like going with them. And the third thing great recruiters do, like Matt probably mentioned earlier, is reporting. If you have a 20-person company, you have to have targets and KPIs and reports. Now we have two things. We have advanced analytics in Recruit CRM where people can build their own custom reports. And we have something we probably don't have a screenshot for in this slide deck, which is we have target reports that we've just released in beta earlier this week. Matt, you'll probably have access to them soon, if not already, which allows you to set targets for each individual within your company or teams within your company for the number of calls they make, the number of interviews they schedule, the number of speculative CVs they send out, the number of actual placements they make. And you can do this on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. You can put it on a TV and see who's doing better, who's doing worse, and you can actually have a leaderboard in a sense, right? This is really useful because people now understand where they stand against their peers, versus you as the manager just sitting with people one by one and screaming at them, which is not the best way to manage. Now, another thing that's important, the reason you need analytics and reports is so that you can eliminate guesswork, right? So many times we as people have biases. You might like certain people on your team more than others. You might think certain people on your team work hard and some don't. But the moment you have data, everything becomes real. You're able to say that this person has made 30% more calls or set up 30% more interviews or less interviews than average or than the best person. And then irrespective of your personal opinion of them, if someone is killing it and producing revenue and putting in the input, they're good. And if someone is not, they're not good. And this allows you to be unbiased as a manager. And, we're all human and we're all inclined to have our own degrees of prejudice for different things. So data just helps reduce that prejudice and make us more fair and rational managers and business owners. So really important. Another thing we do is you don't need APIs to pull this data out because all the reporting and analytics is right within Recruit CRM. And then it's important to have live dashboards. So we have a clean dashboarding tool. I think, Matt, this is one piece that you might have been using since the beginning. When you go to the dashboard, you can customize it and see if you want to look at candidates or deals or the pipeline by jobs, by team, by individual. So depending on who you are, you have different dashboards set up with live stats. And then we need a quick poll before we move on. I think, Chavi, you're going to push out the poll, right? How ready is your agency to implement AI in your recruitment process? So
Yes.
I think I'm not allowed to vote, but everyone else can.
Yeah. So we can't vote, but yeah, everybody on Zoom can see the poll on their screens right now. And people watching on LinkedIn and YouTube, we're dropping the question and the options in the comments in the chat section. And you can just choose the option that you want. You can copy paste it and drop it as a comment in the chat itself. And yeah. So we leave the poll open for about 30 to 40 seconds. And then we look at the results.
Yeah, and the hope is, and Matt, while the poll is going on, maybe you can share how are you?
I believe everyone is using a GPT to do the presentation of candidates, the job description, and so on. But the next level, and I'm on it, to be honest with you, it's not that easy because it is not just using AI, it's using AI and connecting very well your different tools and to have it. But the new, what I would like to achieve by the end of this of the next quarter is what I'm doing, like an interview by phone with the phoning tools that we have, or through Zoom, Google Meet, or Teams, to be able to have the summary as I like to have it already reported in my CRM, and
And Matt,
also
just
the
so you
summary
know,
that I will send to the client, that he can see the CV and the CRM, take all the information he needs, and he do the presentation as I like, you know. But to be honest with you, I have seen tools, but they're expensive. And for the moment, I haven't found the way to make it automatic. It says I
I
have the
have,
way to
Matt,
get all the information. I use the same as that you. I use Phantom,
yeah, Fathom's
but
great, but they don't have an API.
it
But
is great because I can speak English, French, or Spanish. He
works.
gets, and that's the most important. And there is like a lot of information, but then I take this information and I roll it in my ChatGPT with this prompt or this prompt, and then I copy paste and spend a little bit of time,
It's
less
time.
time for most quality work,
Yeah.
but I spend time.
So we're working on a solution on that, Matt. So actually in
I'm sure
Q3,
you are. I'm sure you
yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the only issue is the technology we are trying to use right now, because obviously we need to use underlying technology and not an actual app, because otherwise it'll just be an extra cost. Like, because we ideally don't want this to be an extra like $20 or $25 cost for our users, right? It needs to be something that's either free, like either part of the solution or like
I don't know if you know the meta view. The meta view is very good. $50, not
yeah,
negotiable for
something
user.
very similar. So what we're doing is we're working with the same service that we work for our email integration to basically have a note taker API that syncs into your calendar and joins all of the meetings on your calendar and record and transcribe calls. So we've just started reading the documentation, but if things work out, probably not next quarter because next quarter is in 2 weeks, but in Q3, which is July, August, September, we should have it in beta within Recruit CRM where you and other customers can actually test it out, and it will be free. That is the goal. So on our main business and enterprise plans, it'll actually be at least that's the goal. We have to figure out the actual economics with the provider, but as long as it's not crazy, we want to bundle it in. So that might be an interesting update because then you don't have to integrate and connect, and it's just part of Recruit CRM for all Zoom
And then I'm sure it will be much things to come
yeah.
with AI. We talk about matching. Myself, I still believe we need to have clear data to do my matching. From my point of view, even though we are talking about matching with AI since 10 years, not since years. And it was not working 10 years ago. It was not working last year. I'm still listening to people telling it's working. But for me, a matching algorithm needs to rely on data. The only thing that I've seen working myself is that you have a very good database, very well organized. You put your job with the same criteria and you look for a matching. With CVs, it's still complicated, or LinkedIn profile is still complicated. I'm sure it will be finished. It will be working at some point. But for the moment, for me, it's
It's not
complicated.
perfect, yeah. It's
And
not
the
perfect.
next level is the chatbot with the technical test, the little conversation made, like the screening call.
Yeah,
The screening
yeah,
call.
yeah.
At this point, we may be a bit, we may fear for our job, But
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
course, a chatbot asking the 10 first minute screening and able to see if a candidate have the hard skill, the soft skill needed
Matt, I
will
think
finish to happen.
you're still at least 10 to 20 years away from having your job at risk.
What?
Uh,
Can you tell me again?
I think you're still at least 10 or maybe even 20 years away from having your job at risk.
No, I believe we are not the first to be affected by that, and hopefully we have some time. But it could go fast. This thing, with the voice. If I am a hiring manager, I believe I will be able to tell to a robot, okay, I'm looking for a candidate like this, like this, like this. Then all the sourcing, the see with who we are going to talk, there is still a job, maybe the matching, maybe, but like the first screening, us recruiter and myself as a business owner, I'm still a recruiter, and I do spend a lot of time having a first screening call with people that are not matching, and this time waste will certainly be avoided in the future.
Yeah. And one of the things we're talking about is like today, before obviously AI takes over everyone's jobs, while we're able to actually use AI to make our work better, what are the few things that we can, as an agency, do to win? Is
now already is like earn time with our time wasting process as everyone else, no? And in an agency, there is much moment of organization and reporting and making summary where you can earn time thanks to AI.
And Matt, if you can see this, this is great news, right? So 38% of companies are already using AI and seeing great results. 52% are exploring AI but haven't really implemented it fully. So there's a lot more. So maybe you're in the early adopters when you say you're already using it to generate emails and notes and call logs and summaries and job descriptions. But that's right.
I have to say that I'm impressed that there is so much people not using AI still.
Yeah. This is just off today's polls. So literally we're going in and this is a recommendation, and we do similar webinars every month or two, right? And for the last 6 months, we've had the same recommendation. First, the easiest win you can have is just start using GPT to do the basics, helping you write the job description, and then you can edit it to make it better, helping reformat the candidate CV into a summary and like clean it up and write it, help you write good email templates, summarize your notes, summarize your phone calls and call recordings. The next thing, we've actually built a cleaner way to do CV formatting. So the traditional way of doing CV formatting was you take a CV and then you remove some information, or you put a logo on top and you format it. We still allow people to do that, but in addition to that, you can use GPT to create like a little paragraph or summary about somebody. And then you can actually use the HTML template, which has their picture and their other information, and paste the GPT generated text in the middle. So you have like a pseudo CV, which is in your format and standardized for all the candidates in your database. So if you're company A, whenever anybody sees candidates from you, they see it in the same format. Another thing is super basic. Like now, this is what we do. We have an AI parser. So if you use text, if you have a French CV or a Spanish CV or an English CV, the system will parse it and enter all the information, the work and education history, so no one has to type it. It is absolutely critical that you use something like this, because this can be if you're still using a system that doesn't do this for you, you are getting scammed and you need to like change systems, right? You don't have to use Recruit CRM. You can try us out though, but you need to use something that is using an AI parser, because if you're still having to manually type in people's names and other details after uploading a CV, we're in trouble. The next thing is, now this is very basic currently in Recruit CRM, because we're doing it through a partner and we're trying to improve it by training our own model. But basically we have AI matching where you can select a candidate and there's some predefined scales within your database and you're able to find matching people. What we're working on is also to further enhance and improve this so that you can add your own custom fields and tags as indicators to re-rank and score them, which will dramatically change things. But to start with, whenever you're starting a new job, if you have a high quality defined database with people of different skill sets, this is still a good place to start to get a few 5 or 10 matches and see if it's actually getting you relevant matches. And because in the future, this technology is only going to get more and more refined to help save you time when you're making placements. And most importantly, and this has been true today, and this has been true pre-AI and pre-COVID as well, great recruitment businesses have pipelines that they can view even before ATS existed. Good recruitment businesses had a whiteboard or even a blackboard with names of candidates written in different buckets that they would pick up the phone and call clients about. So super important that you use. So we have a very powerful Chrome extension, which I know Matt and his team uses. So if you're on LinkedIn, you can source people. You can flag people as off limits. So if somebody works at a company that is an existing customer, we will instantly tell you that this person works as an existing customer, even if they're not in the database. I don't know if Matt, you're using this part, but if you're not, you should.
I do, and in general, I couldn't agree more about to have a well-classified database.
Yeah.
When I began to do this job, all the guy I interview, I had no tech tool, and I had like a carpet with everything very well classified, and it did help me a lot. And now it's a bit more complicated because there is a lot of technological tool, but of course, if you are well organized and you have direct access to the people that you know, it's much better.
It's like being a carpenter, you can use a hammer or you can use a power drill. And a power drill is much better because you don't have to break your hand after trying to put a nail in. So obviously we help you source straight off of LinkedIn and Xing and other sources as well. And another thing that's critical is utilizing Kanban boards. Now, this is absolutely critical. You need to be able to view a Kanban board of jobs. You need to be able to view a Kanban board. Now, this is just a pipeline of actual jobs, but we have pipelines of candidates within those jobs as well. So it's very important to be able to visualize what are the projects you're working on, and if you go inside a project, who are the candidates and what stage are they in within any job or project you're working on, and then being able to share those boards with your clients. Now, another thing we released recently. Now, this is something new for Recruit CRM. We released a new sub product called Recruit Craft. This allows you to craft your own recruitment website and candidate portal. So outside of using, let's say, our API to build your careers page or using a very basic iframe, what our team does for you is think of this as a website builder for the careers page. You can build a custom careers page experience where you have your jobs, your custom filters set up where candidates can come in, view jobs, and apply to jobs on your website. And then candidates can actually log in to a portal from your website and see their status across all the jobs they've applied to with your agency. And they can follow their progress, they can give you new information, they can give you consent. And the idea is to build a deeper relationship with candidates. So, as you build a bigger agency and brand, candidates actually have a platform where they can go in and engage with you and be updated on their most current job status in addition to just getting emails from you. So now most of you have gotten the blueprint. Some of this was straightforward and basic, but the idea is we need to get the basics right. And agencies that are starting out and that are 2 people and 5 people and 10 people, or you've been around with 10 and 20 and 30 people for years, but maybe you're using a slightly older tech stack and gotten behind on that. It is important to figure out what is new age technology and how you can implement it in your business to just drive efficiency. So that's it. And if you want to check out Recruit CRM to do these things, just book a free demo. Go to recruitcrm.io and you can get a free demo. We will also be sharing the slide deck, so you can actually click on the links in the slide deck if you're registered to get a free demo with us or just do a free trial.
Yeah, we've even shared these links in the chat right now for everyone to interact with. So you can book a demo there if you want. So yeah, Sean, we can move to the next slide. Yes. All right. So we're now entering our Q&A session, and we've actually already received a couple of questions. So if anybody else has any questions, they can drop the questions using the Q&A options on your screen on Zoom, or you can drop these questions on in the comment section or in the chat on LinkedIn and YouTube as well. All right. So the very first question that we have is, are you able to do video interviews with candidates and send videos to clients from Recruit CRM?
Yes, but so you can send videos to clients because you're able to basically have custom fields where you can tag or save recordings of video interviews. So let's say you have a Zoom meeting with somebody or you have a Teams meeting with somebody. So if you're doing a live video interview and you have a recording and you have a link to that recording, you can save that recording within a custom field in Recruit CRM and expose it to the client on the candidate portal for them to view. So the part that is manual is actually once you do the video interview, collecting the video interview recording. If you want to do an asynchronous video interview, which is basically like you send the candidate a link, they click on it, there's a few questions, they answer it on video, they say submit answers. That you can actually do automatically, but it's through partners. So we have a few partners, Spark Hire, My Interview, which just do video interviews. And what you do is you hook them up to Recruit CRM. So whenever the candidate goes to a specific hiring stage, like let's say send video interview could be a hiring stage, they get an email with a link to do the video interview. They click on it, record the video interview, hit submit. That automatically comes back into a field in Recruit CRM, which then the client sees. So it just answers to both live interviews versus asynchronous interviews where the candidates are recording them by themselves.
Yes. All right. We have another question. It says, can you plug Recruit CRM to your own website backend?
Yes, you absolutely can. So there's multiple ways to do it. And so one way to do it is you can just use our API. So if you're tech savvy, you can use our API to put your Recruit CRM jobs on your website. So whenever a job goes on in Recruit CRM, it's on your website. When it's off in Recruit CRM, it's off on your website. When someone applies on your website, it comes into Recruit CRM. You can use our iframe, which is very basic and it's very easy to set up, 5 or 10 minutes. Or you can use Recruit Craft, which I showed you a little bit earlier today, where we can help you design a custom website experience without an iframe, SEO optimized, that's just living inside your website with a candidate portal. Now, the API option is free. You just need to know how to code, or you need to have a developer who will set it up. iframe is free as well. Recruit Craft is a subscription based on how many active jobs you have at any time.
All right. Yeah, we have another question. Jeremy is asking, would you recommend Recruit CRM to a small business like ours? We are catering US clients, different industries as well, offering them virtual assistant services.
Yeah. So Jeremy, the fun question is, one of the largest businesses in North America that does virtual assistants and offshore recruitment, somewhere.com, that recently got acquired for $50 million about 6 months ago, is run on Recruit CRM. We have dozens of businesses in the US and Europe that specialize in recruiting virtual assistants and administrative staff for US businesses offshore that use Recruit CRM for recruitment. Somewhere.com, Hire with Near, Hire Latinos. There's like a few brands that use us. Some of these businesses have 5, 6, 7, 8 users with us. Some of these have a couple hundred users with us, right? So there's quite a bit of scale there. Another fun fact or number is about a third of our customers are in the US, a little more than a third are in Europe, and some are in the UK, and then the third, like 25% are across the world. Of those companies, about 30% started their business on Recruit CRM. So they started their company with just 1 or 2 people, and we were the first system they started using with just 1 or 2 users. So if you're just starting and setting up a foundation, I would recommend just do a free trial. We let you have 50 candidates and set up 3 or 4 jobs for free. So you and 1 or 2 colleagues can go in, set it up, and as you're setting up your website and getting the basics done, you can just do it while you're on the free trial before you hit the trial limit and actually need to buy anything.
We have a question from Paul. He's asking, it's a quick question. How long is the free trial period for Recruit CRM?
So the free trial is not limited by time in Recruit CRM. It's limited by usage. We have some people that do a free trial and they finish it in 2 hours. And we have some people that are on the free trial for 3 months. The free trial basically allows you to have 50 candidates and 50 client contacts and 4 jobs for as long as you want. So the moment you have more than 50 candidates as a company, you need to upgrade to a paid plan. But you could, if you're just playing with it and adding 1 or 2 candidates and testing it, you could test it for a day, a week, a month, 2 months. We don't really cap you on that because we understand some people want to start a business right away, and there you do a trial for a couple of days and upgrade. And some people are still maybe working as doing this on the side and figuring out if this is making sense. So it takes more time.
We have another question. We actually have a lot of questions today. We'll try to answer as many as possible. So Lady is asking, can I set the AI job match with my own custom skills field?
Not yet. So that's something that we're working on. So right now we have a defined set of fields. So we use a partner called Text Kernel that does part of the parsing for us and does matching for us, which limits us in terms of the fields we can use. So you can use skills, but you can use the default skills section, which is parsed out of CVs. We're actually trying to test a couple models, including Meta's Llama model for parse and match, where we can run our own algorithm on it. If we are able to do that successfully in about 3 to 5 months, you will be able to use your own custom fields for matching.
All right. We have a question from Bez. So he's saying this may be hard to solve, but with AI, candidates are meeting the ATS, and then when we interview them, they are not strong. In talking to other colleagues, they are experiencing the same. So what is a way to combat this?
So it's just more qualification, right? So a candidate can game AI, but if you're doing basic qualification, so some of the things we recommend doing, and one of our customers, I'll not name them now, they've set up an automation where they get 60 to 80,000 applications every month, job applications, because they do mass recruitment across multiple emerging countries, developing countries, and they're hiring assistants and so on. So they have actually set up an automation to automatically reject candidates based on their responses to job application form questions. Stuff like, what level of English do you speak? A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. Do you have a medical license? Do you have a driver's license? So on and so forth. So one is just pre-qualifying people based on criteria that you believe is important, like having a degree, having a certain GPA, if that is relevant to you. The second thing is, if you'd like, you can actually have all of these candidates, you can plug into like a My Interview or an assessment tool and send assessments to people that get to the next stage. So you as a human are only talking to qualified candidates that have met certain criteria and passed one round of assessment. And then if they're still weak, then hopefully you train an assistant on your team to do the first screening on these candidates. This is if you're doing mass recruitment, right? If you're recruiting senior candidates that are VPs and high-level engineers, you're probably desperate to find qualified candidates in the first place, and you're not going to have them jump through hoops because they won't. So you'll be begging them to do a call with you. But if you're doing more entry-level recruitment where you're getting too many applicants, another hack is actually to use a company like a somewhere.com or Hire with Near, or a company that I believe it was Jordan who was hiring virtual assistants. You can actually hire a virtual assistant offshore and have them screen some candidates for you, especially if it's like entry-level positions, to just make sure they seem okay before you actually talk to them. And you can have them trained on a certain workflow. But that's the only way to do it. There's no magic, unfortunately. You just have to create a process and execute the process.
All right. We'll take one more question. Okay, so John is asking, does Recruit CRM integrate with prominent job boards like Dice and Monster? And does it harvest resumes based on projects and open positions?
So the answer to the first question is yes. You can use you can either use our XML feed or our multi-posting feed through the wonk system we have within Recruit CRM to post to Dice, Monster, and a bunch of other US job boards as well. So that is a yes, and you can receive applicants back from them. The second question was, can you harvest jobs? Is that right?
It was hard. Can you harvest resumes based on projects and open positions?
In the job boards?
Yep, I think that's what John means. Yeah.
So yeah, if you publish jobs on those job boards and people have applied to those jobs, they automatically come into Recruit CRM. But we don't have a way where you can write a query that says, go to this job board and automatically download candidates that meet this criteria. That we don't have at the moment. We have launched a new offering. So if you go to our website, recruitcrm.io, go to products and click on Recruit Pulse, we actually have a product that our demand generation team actually produced, where you're able to track companies that you're interested in or that you already work with, and get an email alert whenever they publish a new job on their website. So you can have target companies that you work with and be notified when they have new jobs so that you can track them.
All right, cool. We'll take just one final question. And whatever we haven't been able to answer, we'll try our best to get back to you guys over email with the answers. So we have a question from Peggy. They're asking, can Recruit CRM connect with Carve interview for recording? And also there's another tool that they've mentioned is called JobDigger. So can the product integrate with these two platforms?
They're both great Dutch brands. So the answer for Carve is yes. Carve has just we've just partnered with Carve as of last month. We finished all the work on our end. Their team has also finished all the work on their end. The Carve integration is in alpha testing right now, so hopefully next week So 7 to 10 days, it should be in beta, and by end of next month, it should be live to all users. So the Carve integration is a yes. We currently don't have an integration with JobDigger.
All right, so I think that's all the questions we can take. We're almost done with the time, and we do have the giveaways left. So yeah, Shanak, if you could move to the next slide.
Yep, we
All
made it
right.
to the end.
Yes, you've made till the end. We have so many people still with us. So yeah, we finally come to the giveaways, the most exciting part. All right, so we have some exciting giveaways by Bez Renjifo. He's actually sitting in the audience with us today. He's the VP of Mache International. He's offering all of these to one lucky winner each. So first up, we have a completely free recruitment process audit, whether you're working in an agency or in-house. Bez will help you review your recruitment or talent acquisition process, including any automation or AI-assisted technologies you're using. This includes a 90-minute discovery session with a 1 to 2 page report of recommendations, all at no cost to you. So this is originally valued at 10,000 US dollars. So this is going to be given to one lucky winner for free. Next, we have a free LinkedIn profile review. It is also up for grabs. We're giving you expert feedback on how to optimize your profile for better results. This is valued at $500 US dollars. Number 3, we also have the career group coaching membership. This is at a reduced price of $37 per month for 6 months for one lucky winner. This will include 4 group coaching calls per month. This membership covers 8 core pillars of career growth, from mindset and career planning to leadership and interview strategies. And finally, the final week of the 10-week career sprint is here, and you all can register for it at the Leveraged Career Collective. We're sharing the link in the chat right now. It's a great opportunity to round out your career journey and make lasting progress. So this last one is for everybody here. Anybody can use the link and register right away. So winners for all of these giveaways will be announced on Monday, 31st of March at 10 a.m. Pacific time on our LinkedIn company page. We'll be doing a raffle draw to decide who out of all of the attendees currently sitting here will win each of these. And we'll announce them in the comments under the post that we make on LinkedIn. We'll also connect all of the winners with Bez directly over email. So you can, keep an eye on your inbox as well. So yeah, best of luck to everybody who's sitting here. All right, let's go on to the next slide.
Cheers.
All right, so yeah, we made it to the very end. So Matthew and Sean, do you guys have any closing remarks before we wrap up the entire session?
I just want to thank Matt for taking the time to share his journey and story. He doesn't have to, right? We didn't pay him to do this. He pays us every month or every year, so we're very grateful. He's taking time to share his story with people, and he's so open and frank about the things they did right and the mistakes they made and so on. So really appreciate it, Matt.
Thank you very much, Guy, to have me there. It was a pleasure for me, and see you very soon.
Yeah, and how can people connect with you, Matt? If people want to reach out to you for advice, do they just type in Matthew Godry? Is that on?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what?
So,
let me just drop Matthew's LinkedIn profile in the chat for everyone.
yes, just add his LinkedIn profile in the chat so people can connect with him if they want to, or they want advice, or they have clients that need to recruit in Spain and France, and they want to partner with a successful firm in the territory that does recruitment there.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Ed. Thank you very much.
We'll even share the slide deck with everyone. So, the link for Matthew's profile is there as well. You can connect with him through that as well. All right, so that concludes our session for the day. Thank you all for joining and participating. To learn more about Recruit CRM and our features, you can head over to recruitcrm.io. We're also excited to continue these conversations with everybody on social media. So do follow us there for the latest updates and resources. For weekly discussions on all things recruitment and tech, you can also check out Recruit CRM exclusives and our blog, and also subscribe to our newsletter. And all of these links are in the chat now. And one final thing, we're also currently in the middle of conducting a big survey. We're dropping the link to that in the chats right now. It would be absolutely incredible if everyone here can take just 3 to 4 minutes to fill it out. And if you fill it out, you'll also win an exclusive bundle of 3 recruitment ebooks. So you would also be contributing to something big. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, Matthew. Thank you so much, Sean, for today's session. And yeah, we look forward to connecting with everybody again at our next webinar next month. So yeah, have a fantastic day, guys.
Bye-bye. All the best.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.